You are listening to Transreal News, the finest news, forecasts, and advisories for psychonauts traveling the astral plane and beyond. I'm your host, Toby Dampt. And now, the news in brief. Televistic slime-based plastics are on the rise, but are they safe? A lawsuit filed against Loving Perception claims that slime-based products exude a low-key psionic vibration that dulls the imagination and weakens the willpower. Loving Perception acknowledges that while this is a property of the slime, the plastics they have created retain none of those properties. Loving Perception has recently formed plastic factories in San Bernardino, California, and has been contributing heavily to the slime cleanup.
Let the weaklings love dolls, drain them of vitality.
The Time Barbarian Horde has established a number of camps in Central California for the training and hardening of their youths. Young barbarians have started ritualistic hunts of the new primeval and mutated animals that have spread throughout California since the superstorm. Many residents of cities hosting these camps, such as Chico and Los Banos, say that having a horde of crazed barbarians in town has not significantly affected the culture or lifestyle in their communities. Although animal rights activists and environmental protection groups have protested the practice of slaughtering and wearing the teeth of monsters.
Animal rights activists, they shall be crushed!
The search for Walter Haver Squirrel continues in the ruins of Aptos. If anyone has information about his whereabouts, please contact Transreal News at trans-real.stormheadproductions.ca, where you can submit voicemail messages using the form on the right-hand column. Walter Haver Squirrel is a Caucasian male, aged 63. He is 5 feet 9 inches tall and weighs 178 pounds. He is gray-haired and balding with blue eyes and a bionic left arm. He was last seen being carried away by a giant orange dragonfly from Rio del Mar in the ruins of Aptos, California.
I say capture a dragonfly, grab a vice grip and make it talk. If it can sing, it can be interrogated.
Hush already.
Transreal News has now officially been listed as a suspect news source by the authorities. While we can't be certain that this is in response to airing commentary by Pharaoh Zantetsuken, Jefferson Invictus, we're pretty sure that it was because we aired the commentary of Pharaoh Zantetsuken, Jefferson Invictus, in opposition to the unspoken rules of conduct by the authorities' Board of Truth, Trust, and Safety, to which we say good. Transreal News is committed to providing a balanced coverage of the breakdown of reality, and we encourage listeners to be skeptical of both our claims and the claims of other news sources, and statements made by any large public entity. And now for your time-space forecast. Standing in for Walter Haver Squirrel is former Horde Master Torg Skullcrusher.
Greetings, feeble listeners. I am Torg, and I shall give you the wisdom that you need to survive the glorious new age of tooth and claw. Heed me for your weal. Fail to listen to me at your peril.
How did he get this job anyway?
And mock me at your pain. If your irreality meters are still reading more than 1.4 queel, and you're not in one of California's new future cities, check your local weather station for the readings. If it doesn't match, you must get it recalibrated. The global adjusted reality readings are now at 1 queel. This is your new normal. Not much else is going to change back. I suggest if you're facing monsters, mutants, or dinosaurs, you get used to it. And be ready to slay anything that stands between you and your survival. Hard times make for hard men and great glory.
And now, a commercial message from our partners.
Starting this summer, on the Reverse Network, meet Serge, a brain in a jar with a sweet, sunny personality, and not a violent bone in his body. And meet Dr. Ravapendra, an expert on both artificial intelligence and hallucinogenic drugs.
I'm so confused. Maybe if I just sit here and pray for a bit, this will all start to make sense.
Watch as Dr. Ravapendra and his guests create incredible new realities to cast Serge into that will test his mental fortitude and commitment to his personal beliefs.
So, what are we thinking today?
How about a world with a shortage of food and water? And we make him responsible for caring for a 9-year-old girl.
Not bad. Perhaps we can take it up a notch. Remember, his reality is what we make it.
All right.
How about it being ravaged by giant centipedes and ruled by a cult that worships them? Ah, now that is what I was looking for. Creativity.
Just stay up there in the rocks, Annie. It'll be all right. I think we can find a way to make this work for us. Hey, do you think we can eat giant centipede?
See the show where sadism meets Cartesian philosophy. Mindbender. Only on Reverse.
Literally just in, we've received a recording from Archon 978, along with some kind of press package from the authorities. We will play you the recording now.
We condemn in the strongest terms the irresponsible choice of Transreal News to include a statement by known reality terrorist Pharaoh Zantetsugan Jefferson Invictus, and call upon them and other newscasters to be more responsible in whom they choose to give a platform. We have no choice but to lower the truth score of Transreal News to an unreliable source on the Authority Truth Index. We hope they will respond by retracting the interview, erasing it from their archives, and publishing the press kit we have sent to them on the dangers of neo-anarchy.
In related news, we have just discovered that paper manufactured on the upper plains smells of vanilla when it is set on fire. And now Clee Maxwell with the latest advisories for psychonautic travelers. Hello, my loves, it is I, Clee Maxwell, here as your spirit guide to help you figure out where to go both on Earth and beyond. California may be devastated, darlings, but there's always ways to have fun. If you are lucky enough to be near Nova Angeles or Night City, local bars are holding live music performances from two alternate timelines that are almost total opposites of one another. Check out clean jazz on futuristic instruments or the most apocalyptic punk you've ever heard. But if you are touring the West Coast, be sure to bring a means of self-defense. It's still chaotic out there, darlings. And remember, the harbors of Puget Sound and San Francisco Bay are currently experiencing problems with giant squid protesting oceanic pollution. Speaking of oceanic pollution, Retrograde Dynamics has been building a flotilla near Point Nemo, so you can watch the Homerind Empire's world ships taking off from the bottom of the ocean to the stars above. It should be quite a show as our lobsteroid monsters leave Earth behind. Come join us in waving them goodbye, my loves. And as always, take care out there. Back to you, Toby. You have been listening to the Transreal News, part of the Transreality News Network. Your finest source for advice for psychonauts, astral projectors, ethereal jaunters, and people on serious LSD trips. From all of us to all of you, safe journeys. What the actual fuck, Terry? Why do we have someone who's murdered one of our staff here in the studio?
Come on, Toby, watch your language. This is a professional call.
No, I will not fucking watch my fucking language. Fuck you and those phony pearls you're clutching. Why is Torg Skullcrusher on my set?
Look, we hired him because he could make us a deal, a really important deal.
A deal? With Torg?
With the Horde.
With the Horde.
Paying him to do penance.
Look, if he has to do penance, let him talk to a priest, or strangle a Tyrannosaurus, or flagellate himself in the pits of Gehenna, or whatever else his people do. But I want him off this show. I don't care what he brings to the table.
And don't forget, there are serious security concerns now that...
No, screw the security concerns. I know you guys must have been looking at him for a long time before Walter disappeared to have him on so quickly. What, were you planning on having him host a cooking show before now? Oh, for fuck's sake, that was meant to be a joke. Which part of my contract? Damn it, fine. But if he keeps editorializing while we're on live, I'm going to shoot him on the air. Hypermanly keeps sending me samples. I promise you I am very well armed. I am not going to forget you pulled this shit with me, Terrence. Toby, I think our gremlin has turned on the mics again. Oh, son of a... The Transreal News was created, directed, written, and performed by Brian C. Rideout, and produced by Stormhead Productions, and is released under a Creative Commons by Attribution, Non-Commercial 4.0 license. This episode of Transreal News included music and sound effects from Pixabay. For show notes or contact information, visit trans-real.stormheadproductions.ca or visit me on Twitter @transrealpod. Thank you so much for listening.